This Tudor Villas development is located in an area known as the Gateway to Pattaya, an area of attractive residential estates with a prominent private school nearby. Tudor Villas, builders of distinction, acquired a private holding in this green environment within 15 minutes of Pattaya to build a select group of homes and townhouses on a gentle slope amidst palms and swimming pools.
Of houses in the sun, etc., villas, but I think most of them originate from Spain. So it's a matter of trying to put together the European standard, the European features, the European ideas, which is again giving people that standard of life here within Thailand, but again going for what's turned out to be probably the most popular design worldwide.
You haven't exactly created a gated community, but it does have a very private feeling here.
Yeah, it's very much a case of giving people their privacy. They enjoy their own gardens, they don't like the neighbours overlooking them, they enjoy their own swimming pool, etc. So, yeah, we want to build this together as small villages, possibly 11, 12 houses, so people have the feeling of living together in a community, but without physically looking over each other's walls and in through their windows.
These are very impressive swimming pools you've created.
Well, we want to build something that people can actually swim in rather than just paddle into. I mean, at the shallow end here, it's great. You can sit in the pool and perhaps have a drink, etc. But you can swim. I mean, why not? You're in 30 degrees of temperature over here. Swimming's a good thing to do.
The largest of the houses is a fine example of the construction techniques that are regarded as essential by Tudor Villas' Simon Ditchburn.
What we're trying to do here in a finished section where you can see the thickness of the wall, we're trying to separate the cold air from the inside, from the air condition, away from the hot air, the 30-degree hot air of the Thai sunshine. So basically, if you demonstrate in a single object, if you have a single object or a single wall, heat or cold can physically penetrate and pass right the way through. But by having two separate walls away from each other with an air gap, what's actually happening is the internal block is remaining cold with the air condition. The external block is hot with the outside, and the mixing point of the two temperatures of air coming together are actually mixing in the center area. It's not transferring all the way through. This saves energy and makes your air condition a lot more efficient. It's the way to do it. It is the only way to do it. It's the best. Also, it's interesting that the two walls are physically locked together by various pieces of steel every fourth block right the way through the wall. So it's not possible for the two walls to actually fall away from each other. Structurally, we use the column and beam system. Now that means that the entire house can support itself within the concrete columns and the concrete beams. And if at a later date alterations want to be made, we can physically remove any one of these walls without affecting the strength of the house. So a lot of alterations can be done in the future. The floor itself is actually craned into position. So the paneling that you see here in the ceiling actually only demonstrates half of the thickness of the floor. But it makes structurally easier to work with, to actually crane in the base panels and then pour a concrete screed over the top of it, which binds everything together. Many countries in the world use power and return, but they're not using the earth. And this earth cable is the one that's going to save your life. This is the most important cable of all. If we're using hot water systems and we're using electric power to supply that hot water, without these, water and electric don't mix, they're deadly. So it's very important to point out that all of our structures here have twin earth and the return right the way through. So it's very important to demonstrate that one, very, very important. This is a damp-proof course that physically makes a barrier which stops any water penetration from coming inside the house. An important thing to remember is Thailand is a tropical country. It is full of water. If I was to dig a hole in my back garden only 1 metre deep, you would find water. Well, that water slowly works its way up through the walls inside the house. And if you don't have any of this plastic barrier, within 6 to 8 months, a year at the very most, you're going to be in trouble. and there's only one time within the structure that these damp-proof courses can be put in, and that is from day one. You cannot come in at a later date and put these barriers in. So this is very, very important, very, very important. We wouldn't be allowed to build a house in the UK without using it, so it makes perfect sense to use it in a tropical country and stop the water from coming inside the house. Very
Is it generally
important.
done?
Here, no, it's not generally done. No, the regulations in Thailand are not as strict as they are in the UK, but the whole idea of what we're trying to do here is UK building standards. That's what we're trying to produce. So we put it in as standard. A lot of people enjoy the loft environment, so to speak. I mean, a lot of penthouses, etc., are built within the roof, within the loft. I think the sloping roof environment, it produces an extra special character somehow. It produces something different, something special. So with that particular design over the back there, we've decided to build an apartment within the roof, which can be completely separated from the rest of the house below. So let's say, for example, you were living together as a family where you might have father, his wife and the children downstairs. You might be able to have the grandparents up in the roof and live completely separately.
This, the biggest house, has a guest apartment within the roofline. It comes with a commanding view from a large and airy living space.
The best demonstration you could ever have with how efficient these insulation and foils are is to actually be able to come up here within the roof, see it and feel it for yourself. The foiling here works on a system which physically reflects the sun. It works as a mirror. Basically, the sun rays come down, it is reflected back out again. Now, if we were doing a standard roof scenario here where we wouldn't have a roof or a room or anything within the structure, we just had a loft with nothing inside it, this would be perfectly efficient, no problems at all. But in this scenario, as you can see around here, we are actually going to build an apartment within the roof. So we've got to take this one stage further. We're going to use the reflection system, the foil system, which will take away 70% of the heat. On top of this will be a spray foam which takes away the last 20 to 30% with your final plasterboard coming on the inside. Again, maximum efficiency for the air condition. Tudor Villas is a member of the British Chamber of Commerce here in Bangkok. So we are registered, we are a recognised company, and because of this we are able to steer people in the correct direction. There's a lot of questions which have come up in the last couple of years about ownership, what people can and can't do. And generally, I think it's put a lot of mistrust in people's minds. They're not sure about the future. They're not sure what's coming around the corner. Then again, people that have lived here for many years that do have the experience of the way things work out here, the government, etc., will tell you not to worry. You know, they've lived through several coups that have occurred in the past and they're still here 15, 20 years later. Everything has gone through. But I do understand, people do worry. It's a lot of money, it's a lot of outlay when people buy a property. It's something that they're always naturally going to be concerned about. So as I said, deliberately we registered ourselves with the British Chamber of Commerce here in Bangkok, and I can say there are only 4 or 5 construction companies which have been able to do so far. But I think it puts that point of trust across to people. We do know how to handle things the legal way, and we can converse all the time with the Chamber of Commerce. And obviously they're in touch with the British Embassy, everything is linked together, so we are well known and we've been able to take our customers so far through without any problems. This is a far better way of life out here. I and many thousand others have discovered it, very much so.
Tudor Villas, homes and townhouses of distinction, enhancing the environment of Pattaya.